Hey, welcome to Outsider Reviews. I'm Brian, and this week we have for you the VW ID.4 all-wheel drive Pro S. So let's dive right into it and check it out. So, the VW ID.4 all-wheel drive Pro S. As we see it here, this comes with an optional package, the statement package. So what that includes here is, the first thing you'll see is the two-tone colors. You've got the ice gray, as well as the blacked out roof with the silver insets, the lining. I think it makes it look pretty sharp. The lights, all LED, automatic headlights. Fortunately, as soon as I get out of the, unfortunately, as soon as I get out of the seat and the seat's detecting no pressure, lights turn off. So we're kind of playing with it. I was jumping in and out of the vehicle to try to get the shot, but I mean, it's probably a battery saving thing. It's an EV, makes sense. But anyway, so like I said, you got a full set, your daytime running lights, your high beams, low beams, all that, automatic LEDs. And in the front as well, with the statement package, what you'll get is there's a little bit of a bar light here, right along the front here. This will light up, as well as the VW symbol. So pretty cool features, pretty cool extras there. Just makes it look a little more flashy. So, moving on to the rims here. These are the 19-inch Dramen alloy rims. There are some upgrades that you can get with that. I believe they'll go up to 20 inches. The model we got here is the 19-inch. But what you're looking at is, it is 235/55 R19s, front and back. Moving along the side here, so we see the decal here, your all-wheel drive Pro S tag. Mirrors have integrated signals, and as well as a painted finish on it. So these inserts, everything along the side here, kind of smooth, sleek design. You do have handheld cutouts here. They don't actually open. There's just kind of like a switch, an electric switch in the back. And then with the kind of the illumination package, I haven't seen it yet because I haven't come out and checked this in the real dark, but it's supposed to light up down here as well. And there's a few other points, interior and exterior, that you're supposed to get some ambient illumination. So yeah, same thing with the rear doors there. You can see it's just the standard pop out. So, come around to the back here. Same thing with the rear. We have got the LED lights. Again, this will light up in the back. The rear emblem's supposed to light up as well. So again, all ambient looking. Lower reflectors here, and then you can see all your sensors. So this model does come with a trailer hitch. It's a pretty small trailer hitch there. But it does have a limited towing capacity. Obviously with an EV, you're gonna have to take your range into account if you do want to tow with it. It's gonna drop significantly, but I mean, it is an option, right? All right, have a quick look at the trunk while we're back here. So this is an electric trunk. Key fob is up front there. I was just trying to leave everything running. Like I said, as soon as I hop out, a lot of things turn off. But you do have controls up front and back. We do have a 60/40 split here with the just the fold down insert for hockey sticks, whatever you may have you want to throw through the front there. These seats will fold down flat. Let's just get them from the side here. Or almost flat, I should say. It's pretty well flat. Not much of a gap here in the middle. And then you do have just a cover up top here that is removable. And I'll just come back around to the rear here. I'll show you a couple other little features that are nifty here. So total capacity in the back with the seats folded down is about 1,800 liters or about 60-ish cubic feet. With the seats up, you're looking at about roughly half of that. But you do have this little extra here, so this storage compartment here. So you can either use this as a flat top with having your seats relatively flat. And then there's additional storage down here. So you see this is the charging adapter that it comes with. Just plugs into a standard 110, 120. And then this little compartment here will actually slide down So you can lower this and get yourself a couple of inches of extra space there. So pretty handy features. And like I said, electric tailgate closes right up. All right, so let's hop in and have a look at the interior. So looking at the interior, starting with the door here, you can see there's a kind of a two-tone grayish look with some finishing points. Pat's just dying. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine. So the interior is a mix of leatherettes, soft and hard plastics. My first impression of the overall look, you kind of get in, look around. It's a very nice looking vehicle, very simple, but like a simple elegance to it is, I think, the words I used. But I enjoy the look, I enjoy the comfort. It's a nice vehicle. If you look down just to the left of the steering wheel here, you'll see your light controls and windshield controls. The front windshield is heated, so it will defrost nice and quick in the winter for you. And then you'll come across, you see there's two display screens, one that acts kind of as your dashboard for your driver information, and then there's your infotainment center in the center. See a mix of, like I said, the hard and soft plastics there. There's some chrome finishing through the middle, and then the piano black. Pat's favorite, piano black. Little touch of it. Honestly, I like the color, but he's right, it is hard to keep clean. So, yeah, through the seats, you'll see it's all the perforated leatherette. So for the seat itself, this is one of the options that comes with the statement package. You'll notice there's two preset settings. It's all electric there. It's eight-way movement for the seat itself. Plus there's a 4-way lumbar massager built right in. Not gonna lie, I've been enjoying that. It does only work mainly the lower back, and the controls for that also double as your normal lumbar support. But I think it's a great feature to have. I love massaging chairs. All right, so let's hop in and I'll show you the rest of it. All right, so here's a cool feature I like about this bad boy. So, just give it a second. I've got the key fob here in my pocket. Basically what happens to turn this vehicle on when you sit down, as long as you have the key, it's got sensors in the seat, hit the brake, and there, everything powers on. So the climate control kick in, the radio's turned off right now, but everything would basically just power on from that. I don't know if you saw it in the video too, but with the preset seat positions, when the vehicle turns off or you open the door to get out, both front seats are going to reverse. Well, one or the other, depending on which door opens. But basically, they're going to go back to the farthest position they can, so it's easier for you to get in and out. And then when you get back in, close the door, it's going to return to the last preset seat position. So if you're the number one driver in this car, basically as you're getting in and out, the seat's going to readjust to the way you had it last. To keep your comfort settings. So, I didn't mention outside there. You will notice on the door though, you've just got a rear button here. So the window controls, you've only got two of them. That one went down again instead of back up. And in order to switch that, you just push the rear button and it'll light up. I also heard that, I don't know if it was previous generations of this vehicle, previous models, I should say. Some people said that there's not much of a feedback when it comes to any of the touchscreen or the dials or what have you. I have noticed you get a little bit of a beep. The volume, again, is turned pretty far down. And then I have noticed a bit of a vibration, so that might be a newer feature they've added recently. But you will get a little bit of feedback there. So what we're looking at here, let's go to the infotainment center. This is a 12-inch screen. This is one of the upgrades that came with the vehicle. So standard is a 10-inch screen, goes up to 12. The dash here is about a 5.3-inch display screen. And you got basically everything you can do with this vehicle, you can do from these two screens. So I mean your charging status, as well as locations, you get battery life and what have you. There's lots of little features like this from the inside here. These ambient lights, I mentioned it outdoors there, that Some of the light, some features will light up. There's actually a bar light right across underneath the window there, just right at the base of the windscreen, that lights up when you get in and out and when you change drive modes. I don't know if you'll see that here. I'll put it in drive. There you go. See, it just turned white to blue.
Yep.
So yeah, this does have its own built-in navigation system, as well as it is wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. So you can see down here then more controls here. So these, like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a tactile control. Let's say for your volume controls, you can basically just slide your hand across. See the temperatures going up and down.
Yeah, that's funny. Maybe.
So dual climate control, driver and passenger. So you have your basic temperature controls here. You've also got these little buttons on the side here to bring up your main screen menus there. And this air care system is basically just an air purifier. It's supposed to sweep the car, clean up the cabin air a little bit for you. So yeah, lots of cool little features in here. Your sound controls, vehicle system settings here. I mean, you can go through and play with your interior and exterior settings. It'll give you some information about certain features. Sliding roof. So this model does come with the panoramic glass roof. It's not a true sunroof kind of thing. It doesn't open itself, but again, just with you can either do the swipe here or go through the main console. You've got a very large. I don't even think you're gonna be able to go far enough back to see it. It's basically opens up so that you've got a clear view. Even the rear passengers there have got a very clear view above. Lets lots of natural light in. So
right above my head is a passenger.
Yeah, exactly. So tons of space in here, tons of views, and yeah, looks great from the inside. So the biggest question with every EV is range. Now, you'll see up here when we're talking about the charging, battery life, what you're not. It will give you an estimate. Most EVs, pretty much every EV and even conventional vehicles now will give you a rough estimate of kilometer range. I've been working mainly off the percentage, more or less. So when I picked this up, the stated range on this for the all-wheel drive version, the 2 motors, is 410 kilometers. If you go with just the rear-wheel drive, the single motor, it's 443 kilometers. Now, we picked this vehicle up from Montreal. When I picked it up, it was at 99% battery life. I drove it down the 40 up to the Quebec City area to back to home there. So from door to door for me was about 250 kilometers. And when I arrived, I was down to 38% battery life. The estimate, I think, was still telling me about 150, 160 kilometers left of range. So I did that on cruise control at about 110. Obviously, I was speeding up and slowing down, construction, what have you. And I was using the regenerative, which I'll talk about, the regenerative braking, which I'll talk about in a second here. So that gives you kind of an idea. So one thing to consider, so I mean, it is summer here. It's about 22, 23 degrees, I think, when I drove it down. I did have the AC on. I was using the climate control here. I was using the smart climate, which I assume is supposed to help me save just a little bit of battery life. So with just me in the car, basically what that does is it's putting the passenger side at the lowest possible settings, and then I'm just controlling my side here. So I probably saved a little bit of battery life, but I mean, I was running it for basically the entire drive. And then the last 30, 40 kilometers is when I turned off the cruise. I was doing secondary highways, so I got a little more of I was doing speeds between 90 and 100. So I mean, overall, it's not bad range, I think, as far as an EV goes. If you're actually able to hit on, obviously in ideal conditions, if you can hit that 400 kilometer range, you're doing all right. One thing to consider with the range is with the ID.4s on sale right now, there is a deal. VW has a partnership with Electrify Canada. They're giving basically free charging. Make sure you read the fine print there, but it's essentially it's free charging on their stations, up to 1,400 kilowatt hours or 4 years. So that's basically they're giving you free gas for this vehicle if you buy it for roughly the next 4 years. Again, if you're looking at one of these, ask some questions, read the fine print. I'm sure there's some conditions in there, but something to consider too. And last point on the charging. So after my drive from Montreal, what I did is I used the charger that was supplied there, the 110 volt that I had mentioned early. I had it plugged to an external plug, and it's from 38%. I got it up to 89 this morning. Took almost 48 hours of charging. So if you are planning on charging at home, if you do live a little farther out of the city, you're probably going to want to look at installing a level 2 charger at home, a quick charger, because unless you're only driving once or twice a week, well, I mean, if you don't have one, you're probably only going to be driving once or twice a week, because it does take a while to charge off 120 voltage. So I mean, and that's just how it is with EVs, right? It's massive batteries, takes a lot of energy. So something to consider, right? Factor that into your purchases. Looking down here, we'll see you come across the cup holders here. You got 2 in the front here with the open slot for phones, portable, or your tablets or whatever. Will fit nicely across there. If we move forward right here, you can see this is where the wireless charging slot is. So the phone just tucks in there. There's a little clip to hold it in place, and it will charge. You got 2 USB-C charging ports right next to that.
Saw the message on the screen saying it was charging.
Yeah. You get a little icon right in the corner here saying, and you will get a pop-up saying that the phone's charging. When it stops charging, same thing. And then this is just storage space here, the comfortable armrest. So yes. All right, so to put the vehicle in drive, everything's up here. Your controls right here off the side of the screen, and it's just a twist. We're ready to drive there. You got your neutral, reverse, we'll come up with the cameras. There is a parking assist feature on here as well. It's handy to have. Hi, Pat. That was beautiful. And then your parking brake right on the side there. It's one button. Take your foot off the gas, or off the brake rather, and there, vehicle's parked. There is an on-off button here on the side. You don't normally need it. Like I said, when you're stepping in and out of the vehicle, with the weight sensor in the seats and the fob being within range, we'll turn it on and off. Another little neat thing that I found here, so the steering wheel is telescopic and adjustable. It's a manual adjustment, but your screen moves with it. So no matter where you put the actual steering wheel, you're not losing your view of what is your dash. Just lock that back in place. So there you go. Yes, and there is a glove box. There's a little cutout down here. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get another angle of it, but there's a little cutout under here that doesn't really do anything. There's just open space. So yeah, I don't know. Come on. Yeah, so that's the front seats. So let's hop in the back and see how it is from there. Okay. So Pat just hopped up front there, so we could keep everything on.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah. I got the key fob. He's not going anywhere. Anyway, so back seats. Obviously, this seat's going to adjust a little bit. I had it set up roughly to my height. I'm 5'11", so as you can see here, lots of headspace, decent amount of leg room. I believe they said 37 inches of space back of leg room in the back. I guess that's with the seats fully forward. But I mean, honestly, it's decent. And again, lots of headroom with the sunroof open here. You've got great views above and around. Seats are very comfortable. 60-40 split. You've got 2 cup holders here. You've got climate control on the back as well, and actual controls here. So you do have heated seats, but then the rear passengers once it's unlocked up front. Can control their own temperature and everything. So again, handy feature. A little bit of storage in behind the seats there. A little small one up top, larger compartment down below. And then here, I'll just give you a view. Like I said, the seat up front was set to my height, my driving position. So there you go. I still have a few inches here of leg room. Don't feel cramped. It's okay for the foot space.
You get a flat floor, which is cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it is a flat floor, so there's no stupid lump or anything right in the middle here. Obviously, you don't have a drive shaft like you do in a conventional vehicle, running front to back. So it is easier to make a slightly level floor here. One thing I did notice, and I have seen it mentioned in some other reviews, is the back seats are a little higher than the front seats. I mean, not that it's a big deal. Like I said, I still have tons of room here. So just not sure why, just a design feature, I guess. But it kind of gives you more of a view, I think, over the seats out the front window too. So just an add a little plus for the passengers in back. So what a lot of comments that I've seen there is, does this vehicle have a front trunk? It does not. You got a lot of electronics up here, so you don't have that additional storage space under the hood. But so this model, the all-wheel drive, basically what they've done is they've set up 2 motors in it. So you've got your front and rear quote-unquote axles. Both have their own motor. So between those, let's talk some numbers here. So the front one will give you 120 foot-pounds of torque. The rear motor will give you 229 for a nice combined total of, well, honestly, the number I keep seeing is 329. That math doesn't make sense to me, but anyway. So, and then total horsepower is 295 horsepower. So, I mean, there's a fair amount of push coming out of this thing. Hang on. The weight was about 4,800 pounds, over 2,200 kilos. So, a lot of weight to move, but I mean, EVs tend to be a lot heavier than conventional vehicles just because of all the extra battery weight. So, I mean, that's to be expected. And one thing to note about VWs when it comes to their electrics, now I know Pat was looking into these specifically, and from what he had read and heard and has been told, is one of the issues that may come up is they aren't planning on putting any heat pumps, block heaters for a conventional vehicle. So it doesn't have one. So that may affect your range in the winter there. Your batteries on a cold day are going to be starting from cold. So if they had a full charge or not.
Hello. I confirmed that is an issue. I had one on order, and yeah, they won't be building them with heat pumps. And originally their heat pumps were said to be not that effective, which is probably why they're changing it. So yeah, I had one on order. I actually ended up canceling it, but it's basically becoming a heat pump. If you live down south, you're fine.
So yeah, down south, or I don't know, like Vancouver Island, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you live in Winnipeg, something to consider, right? So just keep that in mind when you are shopping. So the last thing to talk about, the big number that everybody wants to know, is price. So with this model, the Pro S that we have right here, with all its base price is about 55,000 Canadian. We have over $6,000 extras on it, which brings it up to about $61,900. Then there's the $2,000 delivery fee that pretty much everybody is charging nowadays. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, so you're looking at basically 64,000 Canadian before taxes for this model. Again, there's quite a few options on this. So like the two-tone paint was $1,000. The glass roof is $1,250. Like the total for the upgrade package there was about $4,000 right there. So that's not the paint or anything else. So there's a little bit of wiggle room to play with there. I mean, if you are interested in one of these, go in, negotiate. And don't forget about the federal rebates on EVs, and provincial rebates, depending on where you live too. So the federal one is $5,000 Canadian. In Quebec right now, they have an additional 7,000, and I think other provinces, depending on the province again, between 4,000 or 5,000. So just do a little bit of homework if you're looking at it. There is some. And yeah, US, it's 7,500 Screaming Eagles, or whatever you guys use for currency. So yeah, there you go. There's your overview inside and out. We'll do some kilometers with this. I've done a little bit of driving so far. We'll get some more kilometers for you, and stay tuned for that. So 0 to 60, 0 to 100, I guess, in Canada. VW says about 5.8 seconds. I'm gonna throw this in sport mode, actually. I've been driving mainly in economy mode. I haven't noticed a huge difference. So there are a few different driving modes here. You got eco, comfort, sport, traction assist, especially for winters. Definitely a helpful feature to have there, but let's do it in sport. Okay, so the little bit I have done driving in sport mode, honestly, the biggest difference I've noticed was my kilowatts per hour consumption over 100 kilometers went up. I didn't notice a huge difference as far as performance, but anyway, I'm sitting at 0 here, so let's go. Okay, so that was 95. I just didn't want to overshoot, but pretty close. I mean, regardless of, you know, like performance, this compared to a conventional engine is just going to be, you're just going to have much better reaction times. That's almost every EV essentially. So I mean, as to be expected. Like I said, I don't see a huge difference between the modes. I haven't used the traction mode yet. Don't really need to in summer conditions. I bet you'd notice more of a difference in the winter or winter-like conditions. So, a few things I had noticed. Some people have complained with some of the older versions, I guess. There have been some comments about the software being a little slow, a little laggy. For the most part, I haven't noticed it. I've seen some videos of other people showing it. The model I have here isn't as bad as what I've seen with some other reviews. So obviously that's an improvement they've made. Again, I know some older models, some people had said about, you know, there's no real, you don't get feedback when you're pushing some of the controls in here, the tactile stuff. There's an audible tone now. Again, I've still got the volume pretty low. And then I have noticed, you know, a little bit of a feedback, like a vibration. So, yeah, I mean, there's a few things they've clearly been working on, some of the bigger complaints. Range, again, this one, I have had no issue. Things to consider, obviously, you're probably going to want to install a level 2 charger at home, especially if you live a little farther outside of the city like I do. There's no real charging stations that close to where I live. So again, something to consider. But to trade off with the 4 years of charging that is being offered with this vehicle. So I mean, there's a little bit of wiggle room here. Overall, I'd say I rather enjoyed the vehicle quite a bit. Coming back to the tactile thing, the only issue I really had with that was playing with the headlights. I mean, for the most part, I had it set on auto just for filming. We were kind of playing with them, trying to get them to stay on all the time. And I just found that little panel on the left of the steering wheel is a little less sensitive than some of the other ones. I was trying to change the lighting, and then I kept hitting the defrosters and that kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the vehicle. I've enjoyed driving it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm getting all kinds of crazy hand signals from the boys outside, but hey, that's life. So yeah, one last thing, I guess, one last comment. I haven't really talked about this at all, is the recuperation system. Not quite, as I'm sure you've heard already, not quite truly a one-pedal drive system. It does not come to a full stop. Not a huge deal. It was a little annoying on the highways. I basically just turned it off because I preferred to have the roll. But in the city, I mean, just be aware of your surroundings. You're still driving, right? So not a huge issue. You still have to go back and forth between the brake pedal and the gas pedal, or the juice pedal, I should say. But yeah, no, I mean, overall, I've enjoyed the car. So there you have it. Volkswagen ID.4 all-wheel drive Pro S. It's 2023 model. Let us know what you think about it. Leave some comments if you picked one up, or if you've had a look at this. You think I missed anything, or you got any more questions, by all means, let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.